whole stadium will be jumping in anticipation of what we've got in store today. We've got a terrific matchup for you today, rich in pageantry and tradition, and it ought to be a fantastic clash. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Hoosiers offense will go on the attack first. And they're going to be met by one of the best defenses in the nation, David. And I know seeing a defense doing what they want, when they want to do it, makes you a happy man.
Well, the defense is starting to make a comeback. I'm excited about this new era of football. We're seeing better tackling, and we're seeing better coverage than we were a couple years ago. And this defense is fun to watch them on tape, fun to talk to their coaches. Jesse, this defense has been consistent all year long.
And they're dialed in, and they're so talented. They've got multiple NFL draft picks on that side of the football, and they don't have to change a lot week to week. This defense dominates. They do what they do, and they don't care if you know it. You can't do anything against them.
Finds his tight end. Moves up to the 34-yard line. Give him a 10-yard pickup.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. The biggest key there is the quarterback understanding that A, it's zone, but B, what kind of zone is it? Is it one high safety? Is it two high safeties? And then you know instinctively where your best throw, where your highest percentage completion is based on what type of zone coverage it's going to be.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over him.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
And the Hoosiers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back to pass, it's Mendoza. They're setting up the screen. Across the 45. They drag him down, but not before he's moved the chains, and the screen pass is effective.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers as they rip off that explosive play?
The play action fake. Grabbed over the middle. It's Williams.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
The Hoosiers can really attack on this second and short. Looking for a gap. It's Hemby. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
And the Hoosiers come to the line on third and short, looking to keep the drive moving. They'll try to power their way ahead. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Spins away from the defender. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
You've got to be loving what you're seeing from your offense here on the opening drive of this game. They're in a really nice rhythm. They've got real good balance going on right now, and they've got the defense on their heels.
The Hoosiers come to the line with a new set of downs. Off the play fake on first down, the throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Holds and fires complete to the right. Touchdown, Hoosiers! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that. You script the first 10 plays, that was 10 plays. That was perfection. That was a touchdown. That's called good scouting, being ready for the football game, and executing to a T to start this game off.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They go 83 yards on the drive, and the finisher, an 18-yard touchdown throw. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Old Dominion's offense has its first opportunity of the day. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. And how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make a play?
Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And these short yardage situations, it all comes down to the up front. Like, who can win the battle up front? Can you get a hat on a hat? And they do. This offensive line, they get on the D-line, they create just enough space, understand short yard situation, fall forward, and get a first down.
To the ground, he's got it again. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
At the 37-yard line. Brings up second down.
We reached the end of the period. It's Indiana on top. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. The Monarchs with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
He's taken down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
He'll do it himself. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
As an offense, you're okay with that. You're going to run option plays, and sometimes you're going to bust it big, but sometimes you don't necessarily read it correctly, get some positive yards, and then we come back and we do it all over again with different reads against the different defense.
Backed up now, here's second and long. Off the play fake. Caught behind the line. It's Butler. And gang tackling on this dude is a good idea. They needed it, but he still got the first down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Looking to throw on first down. Trying to make magic with his feet. Short gain on the play before he slides.
You know, we don't see this very much in college football anymore. Quarterbacks just taking care of their bodies and making smart decisions. Get down on the ground so you don't take one of these big hits from these nasty defensive players and just give yourself a chance to make it through the rest of this game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Throws to the wideout. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
Hey, listen, quarterback didn't get the completion on that throw, but that doesn't mean you can't try again. Trust in your playmakers outside to push the field and stretch it vertically and make a play for you. It won't surprise me to see this QB take more shots as this game goes on.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
And the sack comes from the middle linebacker, who is the quarterback of the defense. Not only does he get everybody lined up, make all the calls, play the run, he can also rush the passer and sack quarterbacks. What a job.
And the Monarchs decide to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. From the gun, the ground game. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Caught in the backfield, it's Cooper. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. And the Hoosiers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Back to throw, it's Mendoza. There's the pressure. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Hoosiers will call on their punt team. They'll look to pin them deep. That's usually prime return position, but he'll make the fair catch just outside the 40. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. That's caught. It's Thomas. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Had the pick in his hands and couldn't hang on, and you just won't see that from him very often. It'll be 3rd down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
3rd down play from the gun. He hurls one deep down the left side. A full dive to haul that one in.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
The Monarchs will line it up on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Gets it out fast. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. The modest gain on the completion really shows why you want to run the zone, make them execute, and rally to the ball.
100%. Zone eyes on the quarterback. I see him throw the football, break on it, go make tackles, live to fight another down.
Oh, and he got drilled as he just got rid of the football.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell in.
They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. The give to the back. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Old Dominion.
Nice job putting a drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a staff that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for two, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll move the tight end. He'll pull it on the read. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football, that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
Looking to throw, it's Mendoza. Right on the money. They'll knock him down, and that will take us to halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, don't tell me it's a basketball town when we've had a first half like that there in Bloomington. And that defense has to feel like it just played about as close to a perfect first half as it can play. And who am I to argue? I mean, check out that scoreboard. Bone-crushing hits and an airtight secondary. Feels like they have 12, 13 dudes out there against that offense, which needs a real pick-me-up and fast. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Memorial Stadium.
And the Hoosiers will line up to kick off and start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Makes the quick grab. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Bringing the heat. Complete in the middle. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Hand off from the shotgun. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Now, this Hoosier defense had a complete 180. They went from 101st in points allowed to 6th in just 1 year's time, thanks to new scheme, new staff, new players. David, how rare is a turnaround like this?
It's extremely rare, but the system was good because the coach came with them, right? They brought a bunch of guys from JMU, and Kamara, having a guy that was top 5 in the Big Ten in sacks right away, that they played the run, they were physical, they played hard, they played beyond expectations. Looking forward to this season now.
And the Monarchs are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. Give to the back. He is denied, cannot get to the first down marker, and it's 4th down coming.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
Punt is on its way. Wants to bring it back. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Takes the handoff. It's Hemby. Past the first down marker and still running. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a first down.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. They're going to ride this running back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
This has been a tight one, third quarter, all tied up. It's now 2nd and 10. Reads it, fires complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Ball is at the 42-yard line, close to 4-down territory. Here's 3rd and short. Wants to throw. It's Mendoza. He makes the grab. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
At the 44-yard line. Offense facing 4th down.
The Hoosiers send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. They'll go to the ground. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Fires to the big fella. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
Now on the option. Now the pitch. There he goes. And they'll move the chains with the first down. That might be it for the 3rd quarter. We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter, and we have a potential classic on our hands, all tied up as we take a peek at the stats. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the 4th. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front 7 on defense, it's going to be tough.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He'll keep it himself. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain.
And, man, they sneaked the option in there on 3rd and long. And I don't know, was that a misread? Like, do you get the ball to your tailback? Like, it was pretty well defended. They had the quarterback swallowed up. He got some yards, but now you're forced into a 4th down, and this might be a passing situation.
The Monarchs will bring the punt team onto the field. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. Fair catch called for and made around the 20-yard line. They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Looking downfield, it's Mendoza. Makes the grab. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one.
Excellent throw by the quarterback. Found the window between the zones and then delivered the ball on time.
And they'll line up from the 31 on 1st down. Tight end now in motion. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. On the ground, it's Hemby. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Looking left. Complete downfield. It's a seam wide open. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. And the Hoosiers are moving quickly down the field. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And if you listen carefully, you can start to hear some of the boo birds coming out from this home crowd. They know their offense needs points, and this late in the game, they're watching them run the ball to no avail.
The Hoosiers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. To the air, it's Mendoza. Zings it complete to the right. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call.
Man, this quarterback is going to have to be deadly accurate here in this 2-minute situation, right? And that's really what he's had to be all game long. He hasn't had a lot of yards because the coverage has just been so tight. He's had to be pinpoint perfect. It's been hard just to find completions, no doubt. That's going to be the same thing here in this 2-minute drive.
The defense uses their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. And the Hoosiers have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The Hoosiers trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
It's all tied up. This offensive line, they want the pressure. They want everything to go through them here. They're saying, look, let's just run the ball. Let's get this thing down closer and closer to the goal line. Let's bleed some clock and put ourselves in a position to win.
And he is stopped, not getting close to the end zone. Line of scrimmage still at the 3.
Home crowd not going to love it. You got to throw the ball to win this game. They do not like the play call with not a lot of time left in the game.
How good have they been on 3rd down today? And another opportunity here on 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit.
You know, in these goal line situations, the field starts to shrink. It's easier to key in on these guys that you know can fly at the quarterback spot. Defense was locked in. Nice job on the 3rd and goal.
And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. Right down the boulevard. It's good. They have taken the lead in the final seconds, guys, and the celebration has erupted on the sideline.
It is a nerve-wracking feeling as a football player when the game comes down to your kicker. And he has to come through, and Palmer, he comes through with flying colors.
And you know in college football, no field goal is automatic. But there's no college kicker situation here. He drills that right through the uprights. And, David, it looks like his team's getting the dub.